welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would do a full and complete walkthrough of my system, talk about how all of these kind of work together and how I've been able to come to this conclusion with the things that I chose for this year and so forth. So let's get started. So to interject, I have two main systems that I had prior, and that is the Midori and the Hobonichi Mega. So these two were the only two planners that I had anticipated using for the year of 2023. 2022 was my trying year. I had jumped in and out of multiple different systems, ultimately found myself mainly using bullet journals as being a way to get all of the things that I wanted into one book, but also being more flexible. And flexibility for the year 2022 was very important for me. Hence, that was also the year that we were leaving Germany. And I just wanted to be able to jump in and out of my planners as need be because there was no guarantee if I was going to be busy or not. So the year of 2022 was all about flexibility. However, 2023, I have a set of new realistic goals and also new routines that I really need to hone in on and kind of refocus and recenter the things that I want to accomplish this time around. So, when I was in Germany, I had kind of established my planning journey and really found a niche for what I wanted to plan and how I like to plan. And though never truly happy, it did kind of help me kind of categorize my life a little bit better. So now that I've been on this journey to kind of reorganize and recenter my life, I have just been in an exploration phase where I've been exploring different things and working through different things to try to figure out what really works for me. What I've noticed from the year of 2022 is that I really enjoyed weekly planning and also bullet journaling. Now, this would make perfect sense because for the year of 2023, I actually chose a bound book system for my planning versus what I've been doing for the last couple of years, which is using ring bound systems. So all of this would make sense except for my husband does listen, and he did end up getting me the binder that I kind of wanted some time back. So because of this, I was able to find another reason to add it to the setup. So, I'm going to tell you about how all three of these kind of work together in hopes that I can make it under or make you guys understand where all of these things kind of work together and just talk about like how it's okay to add and subtract and to use whatever is going to work for you. So let's talk about the main ones first. So in my planning section, or not section, in my planning system, I have these two main planners. This is the Hobonichi Mega Weeks, and this is the Midori Habino. Now, originally I was going to go with the Leuchtturm 1917. However, I ended up here. And if you're just now referencing or noticing, yes, I do have the Mode Term A6 Plus cover on because I bought this cover and I really want to give it a go. I had it on my Midori first when I got it. Then I took it off because I really didn't vibe with it. Still not a big Moterm fan, but I'm trying to give this a go. Do love the pockets because obviously that was the issue I had in the jelly cover, was not being able to store extra things. This just allows me to do just that. So I'm going to rock with this, but still on the hunt for a much better cover than the Moterm. So with that being said, these are the two main systems that I have. Now, the Hobonichi I chose this year to be my basic on-the-go system. I really wanted this to mimic what I was trying to do last year with what was it? The Sunshine Sticker Co. books. and also the print impression weeks, I really wanted to have a on the go system where I could basically just jot down specific things. Now, I did test out the Leuchtturm 1917 weekly planner that I had purchased, and honestly, I'm just not a fan of the smaller size for that particular type of planning. I did do it all year 2022 in a passport, but ultimately I just craved a little bit more space for my on the go so that I could jot down the notes that I needed without carrying extra stuff. So this works pretty well as my on the go. It's like the place that I can lay down my stickers but still kind of jog in things that might pop up. Like, for instance, my son has an appointment this coming Monday. So I've been loving this for those specific reasons, just being able to just jump in here and write down stuff as need be and not having to date stuff, because that was the issue that I was having a lot last year, is that I was dating everything because I was jumping in and out of bullet journals, and ultimately, excuse me, I had to set up everything every single time that I needed to plan. And I have an active 1.5 year old, and I just really don't have the time to sit down and do that at this time in my life. So this time around, I chose to just suck it up and go with dated stuff and just give myself grace and just tell myself that it's okay if you don't use it and it's okay if you do use it. Blank pages will not break you. It won't make a difference whether or not you plan. It's supposed to work for you. So these are the things that I've been telling myself, and it's kind of helping, but the planner girl in me is also telling me that if you don't use it, it's a total waste. So this is a cycle that I'm trying to break for myself this year, is allowing myself to plan when I need to plan and to not when I don't have anything going on. So henceforth, this is a perfect on the go. Now, when I started this with the initial, this is my everyday planner, because I started this at the end of November and used it mainly all of December. I was using this only instead of using my bullet journal that I had prior to this. So I was just using this for everything. Now, what I don't like about the Hobonichi is that it's very difficult to find a perfect pen to use in this, which is why I chose ballpoint pens, because I didn't want a fuss with this paper. Um, and what I noticed with the ballpoint pens is if there's like a little smidge of ink or a little bit of oil on my hands, I'm bound to smear just a little bit. Um, it kind of bothers me, but it's not a big deal breaker. So what I have realized is that I need to allow myself to just mess this up and to just plan in it, because that's what it's meant to be. Now, I started out with the intent, like I said, of using this as my everyday planner, doing my trackers, doing my to-do list and mood tracking and weather, and quickly realized that I am mimicking a lot of my bullet journal traits in here. And part of what I just said was that I was not able to keep up with that. And that's exactly what happened here. I found myself falling off from this and quickly stopped doing it, because it makes me not want to plan, and it makes me not want to carry this around if I have to keep up with a particular type of thing. So this was intended to be an on the go planner, and that's what it needs to be. It needs to be an on the go system, a place where I can jog down grocery list, errands, reminders, appointments, things like that. Occasionally, I will throw in stickers, and I'm going to continue to decorate my monthlies because I like doing that, and I think that will be my fun that I have in this book. But as far as all of the trackers, I have done away with that. So as December ends and January picks up, I did keep up with my trackers for the first week of January, and then quickly, second week of January, I ditched it. I ditched it very, very fast. and I did not miss doing it whatsoever. I found it more beneficial to basically do my master task list for like outside of the house things, because this made more sense to me than this in here. Now, I liked doing this because my mindset was, if I'm at a doctor's appointment and they ask me specific questions, I can always reference, like, what did you take today? How did you feel today? Or little notes about my health. But then again, I found something much better that would allow me to uh, capture this kind of information without taking up all of the space in this planner for that kinds of stuff. So although I can still write little notes about my health and things like that, this primarily is intended to be my on the go and to jog down or to jot down stuff related to tasks outside of the house, appointments, and things like that. So that's how this has been working in my new system, my current system to date. Now, how does the Midori come into play in all of this? So this Midori also has a Hobonichi weekly supplement. This is my everyday planning. This is the planner that holds all of the to-do lists, the random ongoing to-do lists, the notes about my day, the notes about my son, small journaling, appointments, house stuff, errand. This is the catch-all above all things. This is my planning, my pretty and messy planning together. So how have I been using this Hobonichi weekly supplement alongside my Midori? Well, for starters, this is my weekly planning. There's not a whole lot happening in my life, and so I feel like this is the perfect space for me right now, because I feel like this is enough space. And with the Hobonichi weeks and this combined, I feel like I have more than enough space to get all of the things written down that I want to write down. So in here, I basically use the blank spaces to put the day of the week, and then from there, I kind of use the schedule to block in or write in stuff that happens within that hour. So, for example, if I have packages coming between 3 and 6, then I'm writing packages there. If my husband has basketball practice at a certain time of the day, I usually write that there. So this just gives me a general idea of like how the week will look. This is my visual for the entire week. And then this sidebar here, I've chose to use this as a weekly task list. So all of the things not errand related, but things like within the house, things personal to me, um, they all go here. And then down at the bottom is where I keep track of like my vitamins, medications, and the things that we eat for dinner. And this to me is perfect. I have started to label my little tabs that I kind of stuck on here. They are removable. So I've just kind of started labeling them just so that I can tell which month we're in. So this is January, and then I've already put a label on February there, or just wrote in February. And basically, that's how I've been using this little weekly supplement. It is just a visual of my actual weekly tasks that I have going on, like things that might pop up. This is my visual for it. And then again, like I just keep track of all the meals, medications, weekly task lists that we have going on. So these type of things don't necessarily make it into my Hobonichi weeks. I was using my Hobonichi weeks for like the top tasks, like the weekly section for like top tasks of each day. But moving forward, I'm just not going to duplicate information because I really want it to be specifically for on the go stuff pertaining to outside of the house, stuff that I need to remember things like that. I just want this to be my main and for it to capture everything or to continue to capture everything. I don't really want to duplicate what's in here in my Hobonichi weeks anymore because I just find that it's just too repetitive and also it is just too much for me to keep up with. So, my system right now is basically just jogging everything in here. And this was this week. So, again, I used this little time schedule despite the fact that the Midori has a time schedule, but I used this to kind of see how the entire week is going to look. And I didn't think that I was going to like this weekly supplement, this layout. Because I am a horizontal person, but I actually like this a lot. So I think this works with the Midori a lot. Another thing that I've added in here to kind of help me out, and I also have one in my ring binder, is I've added this. I got this from Peanuts Planner Co. And basically it is just like a routines kind of thing. Now I laminated this one. I didn't laminate the one in the rings, but I laminated this one because I know that this is not going to change anytime soon. And if it does, then I can just print another one. But basically, it's just my monthly planning routine, weekly planning routine, and daily planning routine. They give you 13 box or 15 boxes for each of the sections, but my planning routines are so small. Basically, I just want to overlook a lot of the things that I have set out for monthly, weekly, and daily and just make sure that I'm staying on cue with everything. I figured this would help me so that I could refocus every month, week, and day to understand what it is that I'm planning and to also keep myself in line with the things that I'm trying to accomplish each week, each month, each day. I've added these blank tabs here, giving myself the options to write specific things on here so that if something does change, I can move it around. Because on the opposite side of this is a general schedule of what every week entails. So the blue up top is basically my workouts. These are something that I've been inconsistent with, but I know that around this time of the morning, I do these workouts. My husband also has work from these hours, so I block this out from 7 to 4. So these are his work days, and this pink section here is basically my son's routine. So from 8 a.m. to 10, we basically have a wide range of activities and things that we do, from getting dressed in the morning to breakfast to making beds to playtime activities and so on. So I already know that this time of the morning is going to be blocked out no matter what. So it basically never changes unless my son has an appointment. So in this instance, I know that I can pull one of these tabs, I can label it appointment, and then I can jot it here or anywhere on this little schedule to indicate that there's an appointment. So if I see that, then I can go to my page, my daily, my weekly, or whatever, and I can see that there's an appointment sometime on this schedule. Usually the monthly will indicate the appointment first, and then I'll look at my weekly, and then I'll look at my daily when I'm planning my daily. And I'll know that, okay, there's an appointment, which usually takes place around this part of the day, and so on. My husband has lunch during this time. And during this time, I do a lot of other things like picking up the house and doing some general things for myself. So I try to remind myself that these are my hours. Between 1 and 3 are open hours because my son could take a nap, he could not take a nap, and so on. But I haven't blocked it out because, again, these are open hours. And then from certain days of the week, my husband has practice. And then this red down here is, again, my son's time because this is his evening time. This is his evening routine. So I thought that this would be super helpful to just give myself a general visual of all of the things that could pop up during our normal schedule. just to help me with when I'm planning my weeks or months or days and stuff like that. I can move that um those little sticky tabs around when I do get labels and stuff like that. I can move them around and indicate, like what may be happening on the schedule. I can do it daily because the schedule part is pretty much set in stone, and I can jog things in my monthly and weekly. And when I'm planning my day, I can do that as well. So, those are some things that I've added. Now, these are also things that I've added, but I'll go over them more in my ring bound planner. So, I won't go over them in here because they're basically the same things. But I'll go over them in that because it'll make a lot more sense. So let's move on. Now, as I've stated before, this is my main planner, and I do use like the weekly or the monthlies to basically write everything somewhat how I'm using the Hobonichi, but this is a little bit cleaner than that. Excuse me. This is a little bit cleaner than that, and so I just use this to basically do like my general monthly planning. I've already explained a lot of this in previous videos when I've done flips. Now I have changed from the last that you guys saw. Trying to see. From the last time that you guys saw this, I was doing the line down, but I was doing all of my to-dos, and I was missing, what I realized from doing this kind of layout is that I was missing a lot of stuff. I was writing notes and journaling in regards to the day, like about my son, myself, and things like that, and I found that okay, but I was missing a lot of stuff. So I started playing around a little bit more with this scheduling, and I've come to a style that really benefits me. So I've started breaking up these boxes into AM task, afternoon task, and evening tasks, which really work because these are basically all of the things that we do in the morning between me and my son, between breakfast, things like that. And in between those AM tasks, those general tasks that we do, there's also times when I'm doing laundry, like today might be laundry day, or we might have to go somewhere or something like that. Those are tasks that I'm able to put in here and then check off as being like we've gotten everything done for the morning. So I like doing this a lot better than just generally having all of them run together, because now I'm able to break up the day a little bit better and also see the task that I'm trying to accomplish a lot better. So definitely have been enjoying this. I never used to keep a great track of our schedule, like our daily schedule. I've done it in rings, but I never was really good at keeping up with the schedule. I've always fell off from it. But for whatever reason, it works really good in here, and I find it very useful. So even if the schedule looks the same every single day, even if I know between these hours and these hours we do this, this is great to see, because what I've realized from doing it is that sometimes the schedule changes. Like when I'm flipping and I can see the schedule from the 10th and 11th, it changes. Like what we did on this day is obviously not the same from this day. And what we did on the 11th is obviously not the same from the 12th. So even though I'm writing the same things, I notice patterns that each day, each schedule looks a little bit different. So same things, but different times. And that just gives me a general idea of like how the day will flow. What time do I have? What transpired during that time, and so on. And obviously when there's things that I need to block out, I do block out. Saturday and Sunday, it generally doesn't have anything happening within the schedule, as you can see from the 13th and the 12th, or the 13th and the 14th, mainly because these are days that I just allow time to flow naturally versus being stuck on schedules. When my husband is at work and it's just me and my son, basically I am running the house and also the caretaker for my son. So I try to keep us on a schedule because everyone needs to go to bed at a reasonable hour, and my son has routines that he stays very consistent on. So usually Monday through Fridays we follow a schedule to a T, but Saturday and Sunday, sometimes Sunday, not all the time, but mainly Saturday, I allow a little bit of flexibility. So again, the AM, PM, and evening tasks split up like this has been working great. This second page that they allow you, I was having difficulty trying to figure out how to carry out this um, day on 2 pages because there was so much space. But I've kind of figured out that I just like this space to jot down reminders, also jot down list of some sort, use small trackers, use stickers. Stickers are your best friends when you just want to do quick tracking versus drawing out stuff, because I didn't always have time to do this. So again, utilizing some stickers for things does help and does or is very beneficial. So again, I've been doing that and definitely utilizing the schedule section to just keep up with daily to do things and just to visually see it and to see where time is going. That's basically what I've been doing, is to just see where the time is going and where I can allow flexibility. um I do the laundry, I do the house cleaning, and primarily I do the cooking and I take care of our son. So my days are a little busy. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit winded or out of breath. My week has been trash. I've not felt the greatest, and allergies or something with the sinus is kicking my butt. So I've been sniffling and I've been like short winded, but please disregard. Disregard. So, yeah, I've just been keeping track and all of that stuff of my day just to see where my personal time is going and all of that stuff. And again, there are days where the mornings are busy, the afternoons are not so busy, and then the evenings basically don't have anything going on. And then this is prime example why I like using this schedule, because when we have like appointments or something, like we had a home inspection here, I like to see in the schedule that there is an appointment or some sort coming up. So again, I've been just loving this, allowing myself to make mistakes. I definitely drew the line way too far over for here and here and had to use whiteout. I know a lot of people don't like to use whiteout because it's not white. This is cream paper, and even if it wasn't cream paper, I still don't care because it's made to be functional, and it's not functionable if I can't use the things that are made to help me make it functionable. So again, I just allow myself to mess up, regardless if this is a nice keepsake kind of a journal, it's going to be used. So that's the motto that I'm going with this year, is that use your stuff, use it how you want to use it, and have fun. So this is again my main planner, and I just wanted to basically go over how I'm using it and how I allow myself to use this and how the two between the Hobonichi and this work together. Now, because there are things that I don't have on me, what I keep in this back pocket is basically some things that I've kept in previous planners, which I find useful. So I made these general grocery list guides, and they're just like all the food groups and different things. This is helpful to me because I've been trying to find foods that my son can eat, healthier options, things that we can pick up from the grocery store so we're not always eating the same thing. And then my cleaning checklist that I made, that also is extremely helpful because sometimes I forget certain things, so I can always look at this and kind of use this as a guide. And then this is our garbage schedule. Basically, I just it's printed on photo paper because I downloaded it from one of the Facebook groups for our community, and I printed it out, and basically this just tells me what days the regular trash is picked up and also the bulk trash days are. And these things are useful because they just allow me to not have to write them over and over, but also I can still see them visually so they aren't forgotten about. And then I haven't gotten a chance to really use this book yet, but I'm pretty sure that I will use it in the future. So that is how my main planner is basically working for me. Last but not least, I've already done an initial flip of this and talked about the sections that I have in it, but I just want to kind of reiterate how this is going to play a bigger part in all of my planning. So I talked about this having 30 millimeter rings, and then I went out and I bought the 1.5 inch rings. So what is that? That amounts to like 38 millimeters. I got the 30 or the 1.5 inch millimeter rings, and my goodness, it makes a world of a difference from those 30s to this. Yes, it makes a world of a difference. I thought 30 was the biggest you could go in rings, and then I got introduced to the 1.5, and yes, it makes a world of a difference. So let me go over some of the newer things that are in this planner. I won't go over all of the sections again because it'd be repeat information, and I already have a video up on my channel, which I'll link in the cards somewhere. In regards to like all of the sections that I have in here, but I basically wanted to go over some of the things that I've went ahead and added. So this is going to be a bigger help to me alongside my main planner, because this is all of the stuff that I don't need on a daily basis, but I can use daily or weekly or monthly, however I see fit. And if need be, I can duplicate information in here. I can messy plan in here. I can do all of my main planning in here if I wanted to. But this can be a place basically to house all of the things that I don't necessarily need every single day. So some of the stuff that I have in my main planner are duplicate to this. So I mentioned these 3 cards that I have in my main planner, but I also have them in here. And then I also mentioned this Peanuts Planner Co. Monthly, weekly, daily routine sheet that I could fill out and do all of the planning and stuff. I have this in here in the event that my schedule changes. This is my backup, and I can fill this out according to my own personal routines for this planner. So I have the one set for, my family, and then I can do this one as a personal planning routine for this, because I do have finance sections and weeklies and schedules and other things in here that are important to me and my family. I want to be able to keep up with all of the sections that I have in here. The reason why I added a ring system was mainly because, one, it was a gift from my husband, and two, rings just allow you to have multiple sections in your planner without having to basically divide your books, your notebooks, if you're using a bullet journal system, or adding books if you're using dated planners with specific books to a certain thing. This just allows me to add and take out whatever I need when I need it. So that's that. These cards I printed from Etsy. I was looking for like routine cards, but not specific to certain routines. These are like routine guides, and they are like solar. Like this, like the, what is it? Like the eclipse? I can't really, don't quote me on it, but I think these are like the solar, like eclipse, like the moon phases. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. But anyway, Mondays is like, so these Mondays are my set the tones, Tuesdays are get it done, and they have like bullet points to what each of the things mean. So for example, Mondays would be set the tone, so tend to your home, spend time with loved ones, set positive intentions and goals for the week. So I got these as guides to basically help me plan out my days a little bit better than how I've been planning them out, which doesn't necessarily help all the time. So I got these to kind of help refocus my mind and to understand why it is that I'm planning and what I'm planning for. I need to understand why I have the things that I have and why I'm using it, because it is easy to get lost in all of the fluff, and it is also easier to kind of miss the point of what you're trying to plan for. So I got these to basically help refocus my mind for each week or each day. So to speak. Yeah. I went ahead and added in the 2023 yearly overview. This helps just because this is such an undated planner. Me and the undateds. Um, I needed this to basically help me whenever I'm planning in here, just to help me visually see the months, the days, and things like that. So, very helpful tool. I also have the 2023 holidays, which again, I need because if I'm planning in here and I need to block out days or I need to be specific to something, this just helps me see what all of the holidays that are coming up, so that way I can plan around them or make plans if we are doing something specific to that holiday, like Christmas or Easter or something like that. I do have monthlies in here, and basically this is like a no fuss planning zone where I can basically just write down stuff and jot it in. And this is like basically, if I'm done with it, I can throw these out. I don't necessarily have to keep them. It's kind of duplicate to my main planner, but in here I'm not using stickers. It's just the pen and the paper. And then again, I've added stuff just for fun. Like these are added for fun. This is a dashboard that I made on Canva, and it is just about me. And although this has no relation to the planning system, this is specifically dedicated to me. This dashboard. Um, I wanted this to be a place that would feel inviting and personal to me, and also a place that I felt comfort to come into and to set intentions and goals and stuff for my life and my family. And so I've added things that will make me feel invited to come into this and to plan. So I've added a dashboard to basically talk about myself and some of my favorites. And then again, I've added some fly leaves. These are from Filofax, which again, if you've used the Filofax fly leaves, you know, but basically to stick sticky notes and things like that on here, which I found useful. I do have the weeklies. Again, this would help for duplicate information. Now, some of the things that I've added prior to the initial flip of this is I've added this perpetual calendar, which I've kind of taped. So this actually is supposed to pull out a third time, but I kind of taped it together on the back so that it reads January, February, March, April. And then you flip it over and you have May and June. But what you can do is you can fold this one down because I have it taped. So you have May, June, July, August, and then I can fold it out and see September, October, November, December. Perpetual calendars are so good for multiple things, multiple reasons. And I have these in here to keep track of important things important to me, whether it be health related, my child, my husband, or whatnot. It is in here. I haven't started officially using any of the things in here yet because I didn't want to jump in at the dead end of January. I wanted to start fresh for February. So I've just been adding the things that I know I'll need to help me along the way. The second thing that I have in here The second to last things I have in here is I have a miscellaneous section, and I wanted to basically share why I added some of these things in here. So the miscellaneous section is a section that basically is wrapped up between like a monthly overview, the monthly like this. So like for example, my son I referenced has an appointment coming up. This is where I can write it, and then I can also see it here. My husband has basketball practice and his basketball season will start for February. So again, this is a place that I can write it and see it. It isn't necessarily something that needs to be in the front, but I can reference it here. I talked about that. And I also have the doctor's appointment sheets. Oh, sorry guys. And I added in the contact sheets, which I think will be beneficial for like places we go to on base, like the doctors or specialists. I can jot down their numbers and addresses here. So I did put these in there for that reason. I also have some mood trackers in here that I kind of filled out. And then I have this that I printed out and sized down to the smallest size possible because it was an 8.5 by 11 image. And it is just for all the ladies, this is some breast measurements, which again, this is why this would be considered my reference system, because this is a place where I can put materials, information that I need but don't need with me all the time. So again, a place to jog things, put things, throw away things as need be. And then another thing that I've added in here is in my list section, which I want to replace these to-dos with actual list of things that I print up or type out, because I think that would be better suited. But it's basically another activity sheet of things that I can do with my toddler. So again, these are things that will help me with my planning, my main planning, but I don't necessarily need these things all the time. So that's why I ended up adding this system to my planning, because this is a place that I can put information and still plan without pulling this stuff out all the time. So this was a very, very long video. We got through it. Yay. I tried to be as detailed about my planning system as possible. This is also a tight close, but I haven't closed everything because I don't want to shake my camera. So I'll close all of this stuff off camera. But nonetheless, this is my planning system, and like I said, I tried to be as detailed as possible. I tried to iterate how I have everything set up and how everything works together and what I want to have in my reference planner, along with my main planner, along with my on the go. I hope I was able to inspire you. I hope you learned something from it. Or if you just enjoyed the video, I tried to do my best with giving you some insight into my planning and how my brain works. I don't always articulate what I'm trying to say the best, so I hope that I was able to get that across to you in this video. But once again, I want to thank you all for watching and taking your time to watch. I know this is a very long video, and I do appreciate those who watch from beginning to end. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next planner related video. Bye guys.